Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So today I want to show you how to make this Santa here. Okay, so if you find him silly looking, it's okay to laugh at my expense, because I laughed too. This had to be one of the hardest things I've ever crocheted. I don't know why. Santa gave me so much trouble. I'm sitting there trying to make him, and I say in the video, it took me so many tries just to get his hat down, and I don't even know. It's his hat. I mean, he's not the best Santa in the world. And he doesn't have a mouth because I couldn't get his mouth to look right. But you can play around with it and make him look however you want. But that's him. So you can put a pin on him, like a safety pin or whatever, and wear him on your shirt. You can put a magnet on him, put him on your fridge. You can put a hanger on him and hang him on your tree. You can sew him to an ugly Christmas sweater. Or you can sew him to just a Christmas sweater or whatever. If you think he's handsome. Hey, some people will think he's handsome. Me, I think he's mid. He's like a 5 of me. I've seen better looking Santas. But I've seen some that were, not quite as handsome as him. He's mid Santa. Maybe if his mustache was, more kempt. If he took better care of it. And his eyebrows, he might be more up there, but he is what he is. He's Bagoday Santa, and I own up to him. I'm going to show you how you make him, alright? I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get a little measurement on him though real quick, okay? I did have a few requests for this, and for those of you that requested, I apologize if I let you down. He for some reason, he came very hard for me. He's about 3 inches from top to bottom, counting his top of his hat and his beard, and not quite 3 on this side. And then if you do the top of his hat over, about 3 1/4. So his hat flips up naturally on its own. It just flips. So what are you going to need for this? Well, you're just going to need some yarn. You can use any weight of yarn that you want. But remember, if you use a bigger weight, he will be bigger. If you use a smaller weight, he'll be smaller. Oh, I bet he'd look adorbs in thread. If someone made him in thread, he'd be so cute and tiny. But I used Mary Maxim Mellow Spun, which is an acrylic 3-weight yarn. It's a pretty thin 3-weight if you ask me. But yes, well, it's on the thinner side of a 3. But that's what I use. It doesn't take hardly any yarn at all. But I used it in case you want to know. Garnet is his hat. Oh my gosh, I burnt myself with my hot glue gun. And then his face was made with the color soft pink, and then of course white. And then his eyes are little pom-poms that I stole from my daughter's craft kit. And but you can sew on eyes with some black, which I was going to do, but I couldn't do it, so I had to compromise and steal from my 8-year-old daughter. And then you could also use hard eyes, that you can buy on Amazon or whatever that people use for amigurumi and stuff. And the palm up here is a big bobble, but I also mentioned that you could put a bell on there if you wanted to, like a little jingle. I show it later, but. And then for this yarn, I used an F, which is a very used F. This is one of my old boys. I don't know what it's. An F's 3.5 maybe, or 3.75, something like that. That's what I use. But use whatever yarn you want, whatever hook you want. I would love to see someone doing thread. Post it on my Facebook page. I hope someone does. Anyways, you guys want to do it? Let's do it. All right, whatever color that you're going to be using for his face, that's what you want to start with. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook. Now, you can use you're welcome to use the magic circle here on this first round if you'd like. I'm not going to, so I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring, and that's the ring that I'll be working in. And I'm going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and I'm going to try to hide that tail as I go. So we're going to be working through the center of the ring, and we need to work 10 double crochets through the center of the ring. So we're going to yarn over and go into the ring, grab our working yarn and pull it back up, And then we do our double crochet. Oh, sorry, that was a half double. And then we do our double crochet like normal. But I'll try that again. Go through the ring, draw up a loop, and double crochet, just like that. And then we want to continue doing that until we get a total of 10 double crochets through the center of the ring. So I have 2 now. There's 3. There's 4, and you want to continue until you get a total of 10. All right, once you got your 10 double crochets, you can usually pull that tail, close up that circle. If you didn't get it, if it doesn't close up all the way, we'll sew it together later. But you want to go ahead and end by slip stitching into your first double crochet. That will end row 1, and you'll have your 10 double crochets. Now we're going to go ahead and start row 2 by chaining 1, which does not count as a stitch. And we're going to go right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to work 2 double crochets now into that stitch. So there is 1 and another one in that same stitch, makes 2. And now we're going to work around for row 2, putting 2 double crochets into every single double crochet from the previous row. So there's 2 in the next, and then we work on to the next, 2 in that one. So I'm going to continue around, putting 2 double crochets into every stitch, and when we make it to the end of round 2, we should have a total of 20 double crochets. All right, so I've made it to the end of round 2, and I have 20 double crochets. I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first one, and I'm going to tie this collar off. It's okay if your circle might not be laying flat right now. That's okay. We'll take care of it. So we're going to go ahead and tie that off. Now, I'm going to show you, in case your circle didn't close up all the way, we'll go ahead and just do that real quick. Get that out of the way. You just use a yarn needle, and I can show you how to close it up real quick. Put that end on a yarn needle, and you just kind of follow around. I'm on the back side of my work, underneath that first row of doubles, like that. And then if you pull tight, it's gonna close up that circle for you. Go around again. We don't want Santy to have a hole in his face. I guess his mustache should probably be covering it up, but who knows, right? And then once you go around once and your hole's closed, just take your tail and go back one time in the opposite direction to lock that into place. And then you can clip that off. There he goes. That. No hole in Santa's face. Alright, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to bring in the white now, or whatever color that you're going to be using for his beard. Alright, so I'm just going to start in the same spot that I just ended in, and I'm going to try to hide the tail as I go. So we have 20 double crochets here. 10 of them we're going to use for his beard, and the other 10 we're going to use for the top part of his hat. So let's do his beard first, and it's going to be worked over 10 stitches. So go ahead and pull your yarn through that very first stitch that we just slip stitched into, and chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. All right, and then we're going to go back into that stitch, and we're going to work 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2, and then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, and go back into the same stitch and slip stitch like that. Okay, And then I'm just going to jump directly over to the next stitch and work 2 double crochets. At first it'll be a little hard there because it's, there we go, 1 and 2, and then again we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, come back down and slip stitch into that same stitch, just like that. And this is what we're going to do across 10 stitches. So we'll have 10 little beard things. Those beard things, whatever they're called. Okay, so we're just going to jump directly into the next stitch with a double crochet. And that one is always just, it's not hard, but it's just a bit smaller. There we go. Double, and then another double, so 2 doubles. Chain 3, and go back down and slip stitch into that same spot. There we go. And do it again. Jump over and double crochet and directly into the next stitch. And then another double. So it's always 2 doubles. And then we chain 3. Go back down and slip stitch into the same stitch. Alright, I'm going to continue making his little beard shells until I have a total of 10 of them. Alright? And I'll see you there. See you in just a second. My Santa has a big beard, as shelly as can be. So you should have 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now what I'm going to do is slip stitch into the next double crochet. You should have 10 that are left. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go back into that same one and double crochet. I'm going to work around. I'm going to put one double crochet into the remaining 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'll meet back up with you at the end. Alright, so let's bring in the color of his hat. I'm going to be honest with you, I've already redone this part about 17 times. I never knew it would be so hard to make a Santa face. Okay, let's start into, okay, you see this little slip stitch here? That is in between his beard shell and the first double crochet. Start in that and pull your yarn through. Okay, and chain 1. Now we're going to jump to the first double crochet and we're going to work 2 double crochets into it. So they're going to kind of tilt to the side a bit, and that's okay. Go ahead and work 2 double crochets into that first double, and then we're going to work 2 doubles into the next double. That 2 doubles into the next double. Two doubles into the next double. Like that. So that is 4 double crochets that we worked 2 doubles in. Now the next one, we're going to put 3 doubles into that one. So the 5th double crochet from down here. We don't count that chain one we did, so we're going to put 3 doubles into this one. And the 5th one. And we're also going to put 3 doubles in the 6th one here. All right, and then the remaining 4, we'll put 2 doubles into each of those. So of those 10 double crochets that we left for his hat, the first one we just started it, we didn't start in the double crochet, we started in that slip stitch and then we chained 1. So the first double, the second double, the third double, and the fourth double, we did 2 doubles in each of those. The 5th and the 6th double, we put 3 in each. And now the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, the last 4, we're going to put 2 in each of those. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that out. All right, so I've made it here to the end, and I did 2 doubles in those remaining 4. And I'm going to slip stitch into that kind of that same spot that we started over here, the little slip stitch area between his first beard shell and the first double. Just kind of go into it and slip stitch, and I'm going to tie this off. I am going to use this color, but I'm going to start it on the other side. So go ahead and tie that tight. Santa's giving me lots of problems today. Okay. Now, I'm going to start over here on this side. I'm going to start in the first double crochet that we did. And I am going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to chain 9. Okay. Now I am going to do a single crochet in the third chain from that hook. Single crochet in the third chain from that hook. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet into the next 2. So I'm going to half double into the next chain, and then a half double into the next chain. This is fiddly, and the thing is, I don't even know if it's going to work. And then I'm going to put, how many I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a double crochet into the next 2. One, 2, and then I'm going to put a triple crochet in the remaining 2 of that chain. I'm trying to make the little flippy dilly on his hat. Okay, so there was 2 triples, that ends at that. And now what we're going to do is just come on over here. Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're going to slip stitch. We're going to, not counting this first stitch here, but the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5th one. Slip stitch. But pull it longer because we're going to use that tail and we're going to sew it there to the side so it doesn't flop around too bad. I don't even know what this looks going to look like. Alright, let's see. Alright, I'm going to put a palm on it, so hopefully that... Go ahead and flip it over and use this tail here and a yarn needle. And I'm just going to kind of secure it to the side of his hat. So I'm just going to take it, and I'm on the back side. I'm going to grab a single crochet here, the back side of it from the top of his hat, and then kind of, we just barely grab that last triple on the back side, and just a little bit of a security, and then go, and you can go to the next back portion of the next stitch and just grab a little bitty loop on that back triple. Doesn't have to be nothing big, just a little bit to hold it in place. There we go. And now once you get that done, we can finish hiding this tail, and then let's finish hiding any remaining tails that we have. All right, so a couple things you can do. If you want to put a palm on his hat, you could buy the little palms if you want. You can put a bail on. You just sew it on the end if you want. I'm going to make a palm with some white yarn. So I'm going to flip him to the back like that. Put that bell over there. And I'm going to go into the top here. You know how we did a single crochet in the third chain? That left a little spot there at the top. Remember, we got the back side of him facing us because we're going to do a bobble. Go into that spot up there at the top. Doesn't have to be exact. Just somewhere in there. And pull your yarn through. And we're going to start with a chain of 1. Now we're going to yarn over and go back into that same spot and draw up a loop and yarn over and go to the first 2 loops. We're going to do that 8 times. Okay, that's number 1. Again, always going through the same spot. That's 2. It's probably going to get kind of tight. And here is 3. 4. 5. 6. Yeah, it's getting tight. It's getting tight in here. All right, there's 7. If you can't get any more, that's fine. There's 7. I'm going to try to fit one more if I can. All right, there's 8 for me. Yarn over and go through the first 2. And now we're going to yarn over and go through all those loops on our hook. And then we're going to pull it really tight. And we're going to go back down one more time into that same space and slip stitch. So go in, grab your yarn, pull it back, and slip stitch it tight as you can. So pull it and then go through and give it a knot. Knot it off there. There we go. Let's hope that worked. Flip it over. It did. He's got a palm. We'll have to hide them palm tails, but he does have a palm now. All right. Now, let's make us a mustache. I'm just going to do an easy mustache. I'm going to take my yarn and I'm just going to, I'm going to leave a tail there so I can, I'm going to wrap it around my fingers like this a few times. Okay, that was 10 times. I'm going to clip it off. Leave a little tail when you clip it off too as well. We can now take it and take that tail that you just tied off, pull it through the center like that, and then your other tail, pull it through the center as well. And basically we're just trying to make a little knot here. Alright. Making a little knot with our 2 tails. I'm trying to. But I want to knot it. I want to knot it in the center. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take my 2 tails there. I'm going to use one of them and I'm going to wrap up the center, the longest one like this. And I'm going to take my other one and I'm going to tie a knot with it. Oh my gosh, I don't think his mustache is big enough. You can do a mustache different if you'd like, because his mustache is weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to tie a knot. Straighten up his little mustache here because it's crooked. He didn't groom it straight for some reason. Okay, and I'm going to tie it again one more time, nice and tight. And then I'm going to sew it on here, just right under the, man, he's got a nice thick mustache. So I'm going to sew it on right here, kind of like near where that hole is, right below it, using these tails that I used to knot it up with. So I'm just going to take them and sew it on however you can get it sewed on. That's what I say. So I'm going to put it where I want it, and I'm going to, where I want it, how I want it. I'm going to poke it through this tail, poke it through, and I'm going to poke the other tail through too. And then I'll just tie a knot in the back. And then weave in the tails back there. Oh my gosh. Santa, I'm sorry. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to take these two tails from his beard and put them, knot them up. And then I'm just going to weave in the tails after I knot them, alright? And then I'll go ahead and he looks like he's got a bow tie on his face. And then I'll go ahead and weave in those tails as well. Alright, so eyebrows, long tail so you can sew them on. If you want to do eyebrows, you don't have to. Might as well just go all out. Give him some eyebrows on. I'm going to do a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to double crochet back into the first chain. Let me see what that looks like. And then kind of tie it off at the end. Leave a long tail. Clip it. So that would be one eyebrow. If you want to put eyebrows on, you could sew it on like that. And then make the other one the same way. And sew it on over here. Alright, yep, I'm going to do that. So, again, I'll sew this on with my long tails, and then I'll make another one the exact same. We just chain 3 and doubled crocheted back into the first stitch, and then I kind of just pull the ends really tight. And then sew them on wherever you want to sew them on. Alright, my Santa's done. I tried making a mouth the same way that I made, excuse me, his eyebrows, but I did it in pink, and it looked like his tongue was hanging out. And then I did it in red, and it looked like he was wearing lipstick. And then I did it in black, and that just didn't look right at all. But if you want to make a mouth, you can. Otherwise, he's done. He was difficult. I don't know why he was so difficult, but he was. But I hope you enjoy my tutorial. If you make him, and let me know. Show me a picture. Hopefully that yours, hopefully you do better than me. I had a very hard time. I'll never make another Santa like this again. You give me so much trouble, Mr. Claus. Give me so much trouble. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye, guys.